the
yesterday. Daniel Jones making his first start in Tampa. Giants got some bad news early when Saquon Barkley had to leave the game with an ankle injury. Jones kept calm and carried on. Watch him hit Sterling Shepard for a touchdown, 28-25 bucks. 1:16 left in the fourth quarter. Giants down 6 now. Fourth down, Jones. Oh, I'll take it myself. Thank you very much. Right up the middle. Puts the Giants up by 1. Jones finished with 336 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns. Bucks would have one more chance, but kicker Matt Gay misses the 34-yarder. Third missed kick of the game, by the way. Giants fight back from down 18 in the third quarter, their biggest comeback in 49 years. Here's the star of the day, Daniel Jones, after winning his first career game.
You never really know how it's going to go. That's the fun part. That's football. So, you know, we found a way to win. We battled and found a way to finish it, and that's what, you know, that's what's the most exciting.
I don't know. You guys tell me. I thought he did a pretty good job first time out. And I think as you go along, he'll continue to get better. We believed in him from the day we drafted him, and first time out, he didn't disappoint.
Chris Canty, you do radio here in New York. I would imagine a big portion of today's show is going to be around number 8, Daniel Jones. How impressive was he in this game?
He couldn't have been better in his debut. I mean, you know, Daniel Jones went to my high school, so I support him. I root for the kid. I want him to be successful. And after the criticism that the Giants took for drafting him this past April with the 6th overall pick, you're excited to see it have this type of ending with his first NFL start. I mean, you saw that he unlocked a couple of different elements in the offense, just his overall mobility, being able to get out on the edge of defenses, not just to run the football, but also to keep his eyes downfield and throw the football downfield, give those receivers some extra time to be able to uncover, create some separation. But the most impressive part about that game was when he got the ball back with a little over 3 minutes to go. They were on the minus 25-yard line. He works the ball down into the red zone by the 2-minute warning. He was 4 for 4 for 63 yards up until that point on the drive. And then, of course, on 4th and 5, he calls his own number. He scrambles into the end zone. That's a play that Eli Manning can't make. That's a play that you've never seen from Eli Manning in his 16 years with the New York Giants, but it just shows you the kid's ability to stay cool under pressure and to be able to execute the offense. So for me, it's just his overall ability to be able to control his emotions and understand the execution part of it when the game is on the line. That, to me, was the most impressive part about his start. People were questioning whether or not it was the right time to switch from Eli to Daniel Jones. But that last situation, that opportunity that he got on that last offensive possession, that's exactly why you make the change, because you can't simulate those type of situations in practice, and the kid passed that part of the test. It's only one game. We'll see how it goes, but he couldn't have looked better.
Yeah, Pat Shurmur said that the reason why they went to it at the time was they were looking for a spark, and they were able to get that. So they were justified in their pick. They're justified in the benching, and none of the quarterbacks, I would say over the last several years, we got a lot of young quarterbacks that are playing. None of them were as impressive in the preseason as Daniel Jones was. He did everything that you would want. Successful in the OT. Everyone tracking this team was like, wow. Even though we might not have liked the pick, I didn't like the pick, didn't know as much about him as the other quarterbacks, and I thought Haskins was going to be a better pro, had better numbers, better competition, all those things. But the kid's here now. I'm not going to keep evaluating him on what happened in the draft. They make the draft pick. They're just laying assignments. The kid has done an outstanding job. At the end of the game, Tampa Bay blows the coverage. They're trying to play man underneath, playing zone on the back end. The safety gets out of place, and Canty called it. The young kid saw that, and he called his number. That wasn't the coach's call. That wasn't no quarterback draw. They didn't design it that way, but you know ballers when you see them, when they get in the game, and they make decisions that remove everything from the coach. And that's what Daniel Jones did without having the best player, Barkley, for the most part in the game. So very, very impressed with his overall composure. He's done everything the right way, and he has a little zip on his ball that seems like the ball's moving with a little more velocity than Eli. So great debut by him and by the G-men. Now they finally have some good news coming out of that camp.
The only difference between the Giants yesterday and the Giants we've seen over the last 2 years or so was the play of their quarterback, and field goal luck finally went their way. We've seen them lose a game on a 63-yard field goal. We've seen them lose games on a 57-yard field goal. They finally had a little field goal luck go their way. But The defense wasn't any better. Defense tried to give it away at the end. Mike Evans, you hit us over the head the whole game. You got 7 for $150 and 3 scores. Let's let you get another 30 to put him in field goal range. Offensive line wasn't no better. What was he, sacked 5 times?
Yep, 4 by Shaq Barrett.
Shaq Barrett now has, what, 8 on the season? I mean, he's been the guy you knew going into the game he had to block. Couldn't block him. And he didn't have Saquon. Saquon, 8 carries, 10 yards. Their running backs as a whole, 13 carries, 23 yards. So one of the few benefits Eli's had the last season plus was Saquon out there. He didn't have that. They won this game because Daniel Jones gave them an enormous spark at quarterback. The offense moved. The offense played with some confidence. The offense played at a pace I'm also not used to seeing. Part of that's because when you're down 18, you got to play at a pace. But there's no matter how critical you were of him before he got there, he now has as many great games in the NFL as he did in college. That speaks to why you would have been critical of him, but also how good he was yesterday. He becomes the first player ever to, in their first start, have 2 touchdowns passing and 2 touchdowns rushing. You couldn't have scripted it better, and the fact that the kicker for Tampa misses the field goal, so it's not a he was great in a loss.
Right.
But now the Giants are like, hey, we're in 2nd place in our division. They have some real optimism, even if we don't think this season's going to go great for them. It will have felt like it went great if he continues on a positive trajectory.
Do you have a better sense of what the future might hold? I mean, it would be great, like CeCe said, if you had OBJ back in there and Saquon was healthy, you put the 3 of them together with Pat Shurmur, but it is what it is. Are you more optimistic about the Giants' future?
Well, I think you have to be optimistic about their future after you see the way the kid performs. A big part of trying to rebuild a football team is figuring out who your quarterback is going to be. You find a quarterback, you're halfway home. And so I think the Giants have so far to this point answered that question about who that guy is going to be. It's Daniel Jones, and the kid hasn't shown you anything that would make you think otherwise. Now, it's just a small sample size. We'll have to see how this thing evolves as we go along, but a couple of signs that you saw a player that was mature beyond his years. Yesterday against the Blitz, Daniel Jones was outstanding. He was decisive in his progression. He got the football out on time, so he was good in that aspect of the game. Also, with 3rd downs, the first 2 possessions for the Giants yesterday, they had 4 3rd down conversions. They were 5 of 23 in the first 2 games on 3rd down. So the kid's ability to be able to keep the offense on schedule, that's going to give you a chance. If you can continue to move the ball between the 20s, you're going to get scoring chances, and that's what this Giants offense has been sorely lacking. So the fact that you got that, I think Giants fans have to feel good about it. We've seen in recent history a couple of teams in the NFL, when they have their quarterback take some lumps after their rookie season, they find themselves in the postseason the next year. The Los Angeles Rams with Jared Goff, Chicago Bears with Mitch Trubisky, the Philadelphia Eagles with Carson Wentz. I mean, Pat Mahomes is a little bit of an outlier because his team was a playoff team in his rookie year, but even he got there.
Canty's going to be doing the acceptance speech at the Hall.
All I'm saying is this.
Daniel Boone, goodness gracious.
No, but all I'm saying is that's what you have to look forward to.
No, I got
but
you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
If you figure out who your quarterback is.
Yeah, me and that dude went to the same high school, too.
Going into year 2, that's what you're looking for.
And with the number of young quarterbacks we have that will be starting next year when we start, the Giants should be optimistic. A year of free agency, let somebody else pick the players, though.
What is the name of the high school? Shout it out.
Charlotte Latin School. Larry McNulty was the head coach there.
Daniel Jones, now the greatest Giant ever from that school.
You knew that was coming. Come on, Cam.
I got my Super Bowl ring. I'm good.
Plaza 2.
Coming up, what's next for Antonio Brown after...
Wow.
Get out of here.
Wow. That's next on First Things First.